Blessings, 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 Instagram family, and blessings, YouTube family. Yes, 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 you are here with Lashley and the buyback team, and we're here for hints and tips Monday. Actually, I'm always mixing stuff up. We today is why invest in tax lien Mondays. Okay, all right, I got it together. Please bear with me. I'm late today. I do apologize. We had other things going on in the family that we had to handle, as well as I've been doing some things, so I had to catch up on some Z's. So with that goes to say, today we're going to enter the course. We're going to show the people who have access to free course. We made it a little bit more easier for you guys to access. So what you will do is log in, and we have a button right in front on the home page for you to go directly into the free course that you signed up for. So we're going to show you that today. But while we have Instagram on the stream, we're going to talk to Instagram a little bit. We're going to talk about tax liens. Why? Why is it good to invest in tax liens and tax deeds? So, right now, today, we're going to move the conversation forward, and we're going to get into some research practices so you can understand that it's not as hard and complicated as it seems to be to apply this method to all states across the United States that deal with tax liens and tax deeds. So, today, we're going to give you the key information that you will find in the 4-hour course that's going to help you get a good understanding of what to expect when you're researching and to see how you can apply this method to counties across the board. All right. So, Instagram, I want to say to you, welcome, welcome, welcome. But Instagram, the full broadcast will be on YouTube. So, I need you to go into the link into the bio and go into YouTube and go live because we're going to show PowerPoints. We're going to show inside of the course today. So if you have not signed up, you'll get a nice sneak peek of the free course, and we're going to go through the content. So if you have any questions or anything, this will be the time that you'll be able to send me questions. You can email me. We have our email address available in the link in the bio. I'm there to answer your questions for free. No problem. All right, so let's get this started today. I hope you guys are feeling well on this Monday. So, we're going to start to talk about keys for researching and recovering tax lien, the right people, the right way, at the right time, with the right information. Now, I'm saying right, right, right. The reason why is because y'all going to see over time, and I'm not going to jinx myself, there's going to always be something to be able to show you guys to mitigate. Mitigate, mitigate. And if you don't understand what mitigate means, that means mitigating the risk factors. You want to go into the tax lien sale educated, understanding what to expect with the tax lien sale, how you're going to participate, how you're going to pay for it, as well as the properties that you are interested in. You're going to understand, like, hey, this property is clear. I did my research and I'm ready to invest. And that's going to give you more bidding power. You're going to be like, give you the will to say, I'm going to win because this is my property. I did my research, I prayed on it. Okay. So, one of the first things you want to do when you're looking at the list is actually get a picture of the property. You can find the address. Now, if you're like me, I always explain how to look for lots. It's a little bit harder than looking for just a basic address that you can do a Google search. So, if you have any questions about that, we have information in the full free course that's going to break down how to look for lots because it's a little bit different. But we're going to keep it simple today on the broadcast. So you're gonna get a picture of the property. We're looking through the list and we found like 5 properties. We like the first thing we're gonna go do is go in and do our Google search. You want to do your Google search to see if you can find any realtor information on the property that's gonna match exactly the information that's located in the tax assessor's office. Okay. So other subdivision maps, you want to find subdivision maps if this property is in the subdivision. For instance, if you're coming in like how I came in, I was investing for the residual interest. And that means that I was finding actual cul-de-sacs that were allocated to one business. And as they sold the particular lots, then they will pay the taxes. This is a common practice that people don't know that business builders and companies that invest, usually if they have a large lot and they have about 15 units or whatever, they will, those units that they make into little units to sell, they usually have the taxes outstanding. The time they pay the taxes is when someone purchases it. This is how it happens. Now you're going to be able to see those properties on the list. As I mentioned, it's going to say, let's say Bob the Builder LLC. You're going to have 5 properties with the same name, parcel numbers that's similar, but what's going to really, really match is the amount of money that is due on the taxes. So you're going to know, hey, this is an investment for residual income, which is safe because they're not going to let you foreclose on one little parcel in their subdivision. So this is how you start off, in my opinion, to be safe and understand the process, because you will always receive your money when that property is sold, or if you initiate foreclosure. They're gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, we ain't pay that parcel not paid yet. What we're gonna do is pay this person out. Okay, so that's the example, and that's why you want to look for subdivision maps as well. And all of this stuff is located online with a simple Google search. View other homes for sale in the same area in a neighborhood. Now, some counties, like for instance, Federalsburg in Maryland. So it's different sections within Federalsburg. So when I'm looking for particular properties, one section of Federalsburg is a more industrial, and the other was a more town looking, where they have more established little businesses and homes. So while I'm looking for this particular information, I want to see what is surrounding the area that I will particularly possibly invest in. What do I have that's going to increase the market value, or what's going to potentially decrease the market value? And as I mentioned to you, when you go onto these realtor.com and other places, if you stroll down and you do your research like we show you, you don't even have to do this part. We show you at the bottom of the screen where you can look at the market value, you can look at the school system, you can look at the crime, you can look at the rate of the income in the area. All things that's going to help you determine your investment avenue. So, with a mindset like that, you're able to actually come up with contingency plans when things happen. Like I just gave you an example on Friday, if y'all was there at the live, I talked about one of my properties not being a square, but a rectangle. So now, since I know the area and what's around it, I have another contingency plan for that property. So this is why before you even go to the tax sale, you get into the mindset of what you want. Just like if you're going for a conventional loan, you want to say, this is what I'm looking for, commercial property, and this is how I'm going to find it. Okay. So when I say contact a real estate agent, if you're doing high volume tax liens in particular area, once you get established, you're going to get in contact with a real estate agent. He's going to work with you. Y'all going to do well together. But until then, your real estate agent can be a simple online search with realtor.com, Zillow, and those type of platforms. So, you can also go to a particular organization that people don't really look at, but it's called the Chambers of Commerce. And the reason why we talk about that, the Chambers of Commerce, because every single county has that. And you can go in and find out information about program, law, all types of stuff the in that website that will help you determine what resources do they have, how do they treat their community members. Like for instance, like I told you, one of my properties, it worked out where, because they knew it was the pandemic and people were suffering and they want people to actually build, the ones who have lots, they gave them a bigger vacant lot credit, which lowered the taxes. So that's how that county worked. So me doing my research, I saw how they participated with the community, and it's reaping what it sows, because even if things are happening, I'm able to communicate with the tax assessor's office, with the land survey office, and they're pretty pleasant people, because you have to determine your investment environment as well. It's very important, especially, and I have to say this, if you're a minority, please pick your investment areas that you are comfortable in working with and that you can deal and thrive in. Okay. So, tally your expenses. You want to start now. Of some of these places, as we talked about last week. Who was it? It was I got my papers right here. I think it was like Alabama. Don't kick my butt. We were talking about a few states last week that makes you have a budget. Okay, so you will have a budget, and some of them want you to have a down payment to be part of the tax lien sale. Yes, one of the states they wanted 20%, and that's 20% has to be 20% of your bid. And if you supersede that 20% when you bid in, then you won't receive that property. And then you had another state like Florida, exactly. Florida wanted you to put a certain amount down, but they didn't seem like they restrict if you went over your budget. But like I said, you have to talk to the county. So with that goes to say, you want to tally your expenses over time. If you're dealing with, like I said, a state that has tax liens between a certain out period of time, April, May, June, July, they 4 months in a year, you have the remainder of the year to do your due diligence. You have the remainder of the year to do your research. 2 hours, 3 hours a week to go on and just really comprehend, hey, this is how they do the tax lien process. This is what they expect. This is when I have to register. This is when the list will come out. Now I'm starting to research the list at this time because I already know the method. I know how to go to the county recorder office because I've been practicing on other lists where to go in, finding the deed. I know how to read the deed because the buyback team showed me the particular things to look for to make sure that we see the consistencies. So about time you go to the tax lien sale, you're on my favorite word, beast mode. Okay, in your mind, you're humble. We're like silent as a sheep, roaring like a lion. That's the buyback team. We want to sit there and then we're gonna get our property because we did what we were supposed to do. We had the intentions in our heart and we had our mindset. Okay. Now, there is platforms that you can use that we recommend. We have no association with them. We're not getting paid. So all I'm saying is this is a referral. A Bigger Pocket, Realtor, Property Calculator. Now, if you're looking for a home, this is somewhere where home buyers are referred to go to by their realtor to go start calculating what they may have to save up, get ready to spend. So, as far as the home and looking forward to future. So, it's a different way of looking at it when you're a tax lien investor. We're going to look at, hey, do we have to do what's going to be the maintenance cost if we receive this property? How much damage is on the property? And we have to kind of do a assessment in our heart, in our head, if we can't get to the property, of what may be piping and electrical issues. And sometimes you can see the stuff from outside when you go on Google Earth because they have the most up to date actual view of the property. Okay, you can look at you can find it right there. Okay, and compare it. So while you're looking, you like, hey, wait, this is damage here. Look at the ground, look at the steps. This is something that may be a repair. So this is something that I'm going to have to calculate in the future after I foreclose on this property. Just putting it all in your mind and your intuition. I'm a vision board person, so I like to have vision boards in my head, my heart, and on my wall with everything I do. So I suggest that, guys, to you because you manifest easily with that. Okay, so if you have high volume investments and you already moving and grooving, you got your buyback team members, y'all doing what y'all do. I have referrals on the general website for inspectors in certain areas. They will inspect your property. You can start a little because you have these people who are independent contractors, so they may travel to another town just to accommodate you, especially if they know you're going to do business with them a lot. They're going to say, oh, okay, you want me to go look at this property? I'm going to charge you $50, or let's do a package deal, something like how the title company would do with you if you have a tremendous number or a high volume, not tremendous, but a high volume of tax liens coming through. If you having one or two every 30 to 60 days, they will work something out. So negotiation skills is very important in being a tax lien investor and building those relationships with people and saying, hey, we could barter, we could do what we got to do. So keep it, how can I say, creative and have a good vibe behind things you do. And you'll find some good people who are willing to do some stuff. Okay. Now, you want to keep in mind the taxes and insurance. As we talked about at the end of the foreclosure, when you're foreclosing, some of the fees that you have to pay is actually the taxes that are due. So you want to calculate that as well because the tax lien redemption may have been 1 year, maybe been two, maybe been three. So that's 3 consecutive years of outstanding tax lien if you haven't acquired them. But what we do in the buyback team, we tell you to be hunting. Or you just be passive like a sheep, but raw like a lion. I love that saying where you'll talk to the assessor's office and build a relationship with them because they know you're an investor in their community and they need that. And they'll make you aware when the other taxes are due. But if you know the county practices, it will allow you to be aware, like, oh, okay, this is the time that is due, this, that, and the third. This is when they are considered late, the homeowner. So I should know when I should start looking for this tax bill to pay. And if you have access to the directory in a little breakdown, it kind of breaks down how the tax lien get on the property for you. And that allows you to know when to start moving and thinking and strategizing. That's a reason why that information is there. I know you're like, why in every state in this directory, it has the county puts their tax lien on this way, that way, this way, that way. It's because it allows you to start strategizing on when you're going to come back and pick up the other ones. Always thinking ahead. So you also want to think about utilities, water, heat, electric, if that's the things that you want to have in the home, especially if it's in another state. If the wintertime is coming, you have to go check the pipes, because especially if you're doing something in New York, Jersey, Colorado, places who are cold, and you're out of state, those pipes may freeze. So yes, think outside the box. It's all based on your investment. It's all based on your investment strategy. Maybe you don't want to be that complicated. That's why I started with just lots. I don't need all of that right now. But as you're building your financial assets and your connectivity to outside in the real estate, you'll be able to move easily into different sectors as what I just explained. Getting homes, not being there, having somebody go check the property, turn on the water, run the hot water for you so your pipes don't bust. Y'all know if y'all from the city, that's going to happen. So those things are good to keep in mind. And as I always stress, being part of the buyback team is going to make you think like that. Think outside the box. Think about things that relate to your subject. It's all about bringing it in like a magnet. We can't be like this and say, I know how to invest in tax lien 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. No, it's much more to it. So again, before I move on, I want to stress to you guys, there's a lot of programs that are being popping up. There are a lot of programs that's popping up teaching people how to invest in tax liens. My best advice is to you is to make sure you do your due diligence before you go to the tax sale. Pray and hope that these programs are able to teach you the due diligence of how to research before you go. It's fine to show you how to find a list. It's fine to show you how to get to the tax lien sale. It's fine to show you how to register. But it's more important to show you how to research to be safe. And that's what we're doing here. We're on beast mode. So the thinking and planning process, that's the most important part. So I'm going to put the Lashley thinking head on. Okay? I love to think. One, like I said, you want to determine your investment objective. Don't laugh at me, guys. I always crack on myself. Okay? You want to determine your investment objective, and you want to determine the amount of time and cash and energy in your investment before you even go. I got 8 months to do my research before this tax lien sale come up. I have 8 months to save $5,000 to $10,000 or whatever my goal is, because I'm looking at the list and I'm seeing the average amount of market value. I'm seeing the average amount of taxes that this state actually taxes its citizens, because you did the research and you can see it right there. We show you how to look onto the tax assessors um, website and pick out the key information. So this is a process really fast. Okay. So then you want to select your specific market. Where we going? Commercial. What are we doing? We're doing conventional homes. Maybe I want a hotel. Maybe I want a two-family. You never know what you find on these tax lien lists because of the market diversity. And because of what's going on now, you never know who may be losing their home based on taxes. Okay. So you want to log on to the county site and obtain guidelines for buying tax lien or deeds. If you have any questions, call before you go. Email before you go. Email, call while you're researching. Don't bother them too much before you read the frequent asked questions. I stress it. every time I read everything, I don't be having too much to talk to people about. Me, I'm the type that I don't really like bothering people talking too much. So if I can do my research and I can find it, this is what I do. So I always go to the bulk of what I'm looking for, where I can find it, and then from there, if it's things that's missing, then I was like, hey, I was on the frequent asked questions and I couldn't find this particular information. Would you be able to help me? And they're like, sure, I got you. Okay, so as we go on, determine your geographical area and which investment area you're going to go into, as we say. Research process. Highlight your budget. Stick to your budget. Don't get nervous when you go to these auctions. Be a lion in the heart. Just stick to it because you don't want to get banned from any of these auctions because they will. They're not here to play no games. They just want y'all to come get the properties, pay some taxes, and keep it moving. Okay. Don't mess up their flow. Okay. So highlight properties in the best areas to invest in. Please do. Because if you see the market value going down, if you see that, you can see the market value of the homes when you go to the tax assessor's office, as well as when you go on to realtor.com and things, you'll see over the years how it changed. And we know everybody's at a bubble right now, but you need to go back 5 to 10 years to realize what's really going to happen, possibly coming up. And that's how I assess things. Because right here is a pseudo market. This market is literally, I feel, is going to implode, or it's going to be a lot of people who lose their home, and there's going to be a lot of things left on the market, and then it's going to drop. That's just my opinion. Hopefully, it don't drop down too low, but at least hopefully the market correct itself. So that's how I base my investments. So I'm not going to buy a $200,000 home, no, $300,000 home, knowing that maybe a year and a half from now it's going to be worth 150, 175, because 3-4 years ago that's what it was worth. So you see what I'm saying? You got to look at the information you have and strategize off of it. Like, I ain't gonna play, because even with homeowners, when you're doing lending, if you go into a practice like that in a situation where you get a loan off of 200,000 and the market corrects itself, you screwed. You're going to be paying that debt, and your home is going to be valued less, and that's definitely going to be a liability. We already know your first home is not an asset; it's a liability unless you're getting some rent off of it. So that is like more. So we want you guys to strategize. The buyback team, we think this. Okay. So highlight single family homes. That is things that kind of easy to get started with. If you want to do two family, that's going to be put a little bit more research on to you, but do what you got to do. But you want to make sure too that you can go in and maybe look at the inspections that happen on the home, and you'll probably be able to find that in the state registry information. Okay, so we show you how to find past zoning changes, inspections that was done by the state, and what they were and when. Any changes that this person did or upgraded, you'll be able to find that. Okay, so that's where you're obtaining a property profile. So research is the key. Do your due diligence. Avoid fixer-uppers. Talk to people. Build a family. Tally your expenses. Consider the appreciation that we just talked about. Please consider the appreciation, because you buy something that's 300,000. We just explained. You don't want to be caught up like that, guys. Determine your cash on hand return. Now, you got to plan for that. What if the person pay you? You may get that with the interest. Some of these counties is up to 20% interest. Florida go up to 20, baby. No, I think that's that the bid downstate. I'm trying to remember, but some of these counties go up to 20%. So you'll be getting that penalties, interest that have built on from the time you invested. Okay, especially if you're the first in line. We told you that when you're dealing with those states that have 2-3 year redemption, you want to be first in line so you could get paid when it comes down to it. Because some of these homes still have mortgages on it. And we show you how to find that, and you can read it on a deed. And these mortgage companies may not let you foreclose, but they got to pay you because they want the home, maybe. You see? So that can be something that happened. You may be getting reimbursement from a mortgage company. So if you don't do the adequate research, the junk property may be your end goal. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised when something happens when you don't do your research. You have time. It's nothing in a rush. We have 3,010 counties or 3,003 counties in the United States, and they all maneuver a little bit different. Find your area, find your niche, get on it, flow easy, and take your time. 2 years, maybe 1 year later, you'll have properties, or at least you'll have residual income. Because when I first started investing, as I told you how, I was doing it for the income, and within 4 or 5 months, I was receiving my interest back because these people wasn't gonna let me foreclose on that stuff. So that was cool. A check came in the mail. I was like, "Ooh, look, interest, nice." Because if it was sent in the bank, I probably would have spent it, and if it was in a saving account, I definitely wouldn't have got the interest like that. So avoid any damage on the property, like pipes, electrical, roofs, foundational issues. Go on Google Live Search if you can. Go, and that's going to be your most up to date search you can look for right now at this time, until you can get someone out there to look at that for you. Okay. And that's why you want to build your team in the areas that you are invested in. Or now we have so many members on the website. We have about 45 from around the world and in the different places in the United States, just on the buyback team. As I told you, people get on just to be members, to start to talk to each other. Use the platform, because you may have someone in a state that you want to invest in, but that they don't want to invest in it. But they know everything about the state. They're like, "Oh no, don't go there, don't go here. You could go here." Yeah, that's nice. Build the relationship, because they may want you to do something for them in your state. You know, hey, the border system. It's called the buyback team. So avoid fixer uppers and junk property. Risk factors like accumulated tax debt. Okay, yes. In some situations, tax debt can accumulate on the property as well, and other encumbrance maintenance charge. So you want to pay attention, especially those states, as we told you, that separates their tax liens, where you would think you invested in the tax lien. Yeah, I got that one, but it was 3, 4 more behind that was separate. You can find that, or you'll note that in your head when you see a list that's 400 lines. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, 400 houses." No, it's probably 150 houses with duplicates. You see what I'm saying? So take your time, learn how to use Excel, extract that information, pick out all the tax liens that they have on the list, contact the county. Okay. As TLC holders, the plans for foreclosure is one of your end result thinking. What do I have to do to foreclose? What is the state law? Is it a judicial state or a non-judicial state? The buyback team knows what that is. I know you know. If you do, put it in the comment. Judicial versus non-judicial. What is it? Judicial versus non-judicial. Judicial states, you're going to go see the judge. Judicial, judge. Non-judicial, they don't go through court, but there is notification process. Okay. And we talked about that intensively on Friday, because you can't just get the deed, do it in non-judicial process, and then show up like, "Get out. This is my house." They got to have some notice. They got to get ready. Okay. They know what's going on, but you do got to get the sheriff to present them with a notice of eviction to get them out. Okay. So do research through the county to see if there's any other liens, properties before investing. The risk, another risk, bankruptcy. Can bankruptcy stop your investment? No, but it can slow it down intensively. We're going to keep it real. If they file bankruptcy, you will be one of the creditors that get paid. Okay. So, as a homeowner, bankruptcy is a legal loophole. Hint, hint, hint. If you have someone going through something, buyback team, you can educate your family with this information. You see me holding my glasses trying to say hint, hint, hint. My eyes dry right now. That's why I got my glasses on, but I'm winking at you. Now, listen to this. As a homeowner, bankruptcy is a legal loophole that can cause trouble, delay in the tax lien process. Okay. Bankruptcy can halt any kind of collection efforts. So keep that in mind. Interest penalties for the foreclosure is completely defaulted. Okay. You want to contact a specialist. But at the end of the day, these bills, because what will happen if the person has a home and that home is the tax lien that you invest in? They use that home for collateral to liquidate it. So when the home is sold, they have to pay you, the first lien holder. Okay. So this is how you get paid, because that bank, once they liquidate it, you have to get paid first. And that's just the way it works. You're under the IRS. No, it's God, the IRS, and us. Okay? We there. All right. Let me stop. Now, the rights of the tax lien holder. A tax lien is issued to the local city of the county government entity and usually considered superior to all liens. That's what I'm telling you. God, God, IRS, bam, us, the buyback team. Okay. Or county government entities is usually considered superior to all liens in existence upon the property, except the federal government, which is the IRS. We can't beat them. If you find a lien, we teach you how to go to the IRS website and find liens on homes. So you don't want to deal with them unless you got a property worth 300,000. The tax is 10,000. The IRS lien is 5. And it's a non-traditional state. You got to put them on notice. You literally spent under $20,000 for a $300,000 house. Hey, sometimes you got to do the math. That's why we show you how to do all the research, because just because it has an IRS lien doesn't mean that you can't negotiate with the IRS. They just want a little bit of change. I talk to them all the time. I went to 3 audits in my life, and I ain't owed them nothing. Well, one of them I did because I missed income. So I understood that. But the other ones, I was like, wait a minute, you forgot to give me my deductions, da 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 da. When I sent that back to them, they was like, okay, you owe us $52. Okay, where's the $52 coming from? No reply. This is who you got on your team. You got Lashley. We ain't afraid of nobody. Truth and honor is first. Facts is first, and we're gonna win with that. Okay. All right. So moving forward, TLCs is not an automatic transfer of the property. So don't think you could go to this property and be like, hey, this is my property. Get on now. Don't do that. You'll be locked up for trespassing. You won't lose your tax lien investment, but you can't do that. You got to do it properly. So just to close off, and we're not closing off on YouTube. Instagram, I need you to go into the link in the bio. Go onto YouTube. There's a live broadcast going on now. Join that YouTube. I appreciate you, because now we're going to show a great portion of the actual free course. So we're going to look at it together. If you want to talk about anything, you let me know. I may say some extra stuff in it, but we're going to run it. We're going to run it for about an hour, 2 hours. Let's see if we can make it to 2 hours. Okay. We're going, because the actual free course is 4 hours, but I think we're going to end up doing an hour and a half, because I'm going to show you the bottom portion of that gives you the bulk of the information of researching. Free. It's all free. They like, why should give this is all free? Because that's what they selling to you guys. They're selling to you exactly what I'm giving to you for free. So I say, hey, if they want to step it up, teach them how to research law. Teach them how to research the property, the GIS map, the title search. What's the deed? How the deed works. Yeah, we getting in. Create a platform for them like Facebook that they can get together and work across the state lines to build your generational wealth. That's what we did just here. That's what we're doing here on the buyback team. So I'm grateful for you being here with us and you being part of the buyback team. And I do want to say I apologize if I don't respond to like inboxes on Facebook fast. I don't like that app. So that app is not downloaded. Sometimes when I open my old phone, I'll see it and I reply. But I really need you guys to go on to the website to communicate with me, because that's where I get my alerts, and I will communicate with you and answer simple questions. It's not a problem. All right. So to close off, what are the risks associated with tax lien investment and tax lien certificates? Yes, we're going to tell you the truth. The complete truth and nothing but the truth. The tax lien certificate are not risk-free investments. For the tax lien to be redeemed by the property owner, you have to make sure that you follow the steps in detail, especially when you're doing the foreclosure, especially in states like Maryland. Oh my God, you make a mistake, you're done. You're done. But you just got to probably start over. But at the end of the day, you don't want to have to do that, because there's a certain timeline where you're going to make the notice, put it here, submit that to the judge, move forward, file another motion, get the eviction. You see what I'm saying? It's a time frame. So this is where we say that's where you have risk too. because if you mess up, you'll have to start again as well. You don't want to deal with properties that have a big accumulation of debt, no junk properties, bankruptcy. We talked about that. Properties that's in the middle of litigation, such as divorce. Hint, hint. That's why we teach you how to go into the court information in the town of the owner. If they don't live in the town of the property, we'll know where they live, and if they file some papers there, and some or file some papers at least in the state of the your their investment property. At least we do a little bit of research. I'm not going to say that these people can't file a lawsuit in other states. We won't be able to do that, but you at least get an idea of this property owner. For example, we did some research and it was a junior. The father owned it, but the junior had a court case for something doing with like was it some fighting or something like that. I was like, oh, look at him getting in trouble. So we kind of figured out what's going on in the house, what type of people. You got to put that in mind. Like, is this person gonna come back? Is this junior a heir to this property? They gonna come back and get this? Look at them with all these court cases. They may not. You see what I'm saying? It's all about assessment and using the data to your I do apologize, using it to your benefit with your critical thinking skills. Okay. So you're going to look for litigations. So, certificate declared invalid due to potential errors. We teach you how to look for errors. Okay. That's why you don't want to see a name and an address and information on the deed as the owner, and then you go to the tax assessor's office and you see that it's a different name, and then you go into the consecutive reading of the deed and it's like, hey, people are missing. All types of stuff can happen, so we teach you those mistakes that can be made as well. Okay, so YouTube, I want you to bear with me. We've been on for almost 40 minutes. Instagram, I want to say thank you for being with Lashley today and being part of the buyback team. I've been seeing you guys creeping in, creeping in. Let me see. I see him. Let me see. I see a question, but if the camera was too far back. Can I book a consultation to work out a strategy for me? Yes, you can. So basically, like I said, you can go into the website and you can get a free consultation once you sign up and you become a member or you have free access to the course. You get a 15-minute free consultation. You'll see it. Go under consultation and say free 15-minute consultation. So just have your question ready. In that section, I want you to give me an idea of kind of what you're talking about, but I know what you are talking about. But that's to other individuals that want to kind of, ask me some questions. Give me an idea so I can start pre-researching, because you guys are calling from different states. I got different stuff going on. So I just want to be prepared for you guys. Okay. So Instagram, I want to say I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you on Friday. We got 2 more states that we're going to be going over on Friday, and we will be live on Instagram. So you have a great Monday, and we will see you soon. All right. YouTube, bear with me, because these people didn't. I hope. Oh, let's see. Hint, why invest? I'm just going to give a quick title, because the title don't be there after you finish the live on Instagram. I don't know why. Tax Lien Mondays. I'll redo that. All right. So I appreciate you guys' patience. We're going to keep the broadcast going. And what that goes to say, that broadcast is going to go into let's review the course for you guys who haven't got in. If you want to see how it looked, we're going to show you. Also, we're going to show you how we made it easier for you to get in, because I know it's a little complicated. I do apologize. Now, let's add a screen. All right. We are here. We are here. Now, let me just make sure that it's looking good on screen. I think it is. Just make sure. We're still going live. Now, this is the website, primetimehomebuyersbuyback.org. This is where you'll go to start to review. We showed plenty of times how to navigate, but today is going to show you directly how to get into the course. So we go into our top right-hand section, and we're going to log in. And it says already a member. Now, this is where you will sign in before you even pick the course. Before you even pick to do anything, this is where you'll go, and they want to verify your email address. So this is what I was talking about before. I think I need to drink. I've been talking for 45 minutes. All right. So we're going to log in. So now that we're logging in, you're going to see it's going to take me right back to the home screen. What I have added directly on this home screen to make this so easy for you guys is this button. It says join us. So you're going to know if you're part of the buyback team that this join us is going to take you straight to where you can access the course now because you're already signed in. And this is our plan and course access page. If you don't see that button, that's exactly where it's at. And that's where I was directing you guys to go at that time. So these are the two courses that's available. Now, under the full course is $16.99, and it gives you access to all three memberships, course 1, course 2, well, intro course, course 1, and everything on the website, as well as updates. Now, you can see the difference here where it says you're a participant because I already signed in. Now, if I didn't, when you go in and register your email, you'll come back to this page, and these two will say join. Then you will join which one you want to. So we wanted to join the free course, the introduction to investing in tax liens. All right. So this is the 8th step where you'll be able to start your intro. Now, we already went into the overview intro. We're not going to go into compound interest today. We're going to kind of move down into the sections. And I think we want to get into, starting the research process. So we're going to go into one of this second section, which is starting the research process. And from there, we're just going to go through the course so you can see, and it's going to solidify the information that we were just talking about. You're going to see it come to life. This is why we have set up this program like this, so hands-on, where you can literally watch it and process it. So let's go here. Getting to know your investment area. We were just talking about that. So we're going to continue our conversation with that. This is about a 15-minute section, and we're going to get it going. I'm not because we're going to check out the process. They've been copywriting me with my own stuff, as well as visit the county treasurer's office, tax lien office, clerk's office, and many more locations that you need to know on your tax lien investment search. Make sure the volume is up. The buyback team. Welcome to the family. Now in this video, we're going to start looking in our Google search for property 123 Christopherson Lane. In Christopherson Lane, we're going to be looking at Kentucky. So we're going to take our time to find a little bit more about the actual area, because it's always good for you to just kind of Google randomly in the area that you're looking for. So we're interested in Kentucky. So we put an address in, and we're kind of looking in the town that we want to be in, or the county, because we already know. And now we're looking at the land structure. So as you can see, around in this area, we have a lot of grassland, a lot of open areas. So this is good for investors who are looking for properties as such. You can do a lot with these type of properties. So here we're showing you how to actually look at the land with a basic Google search. This is not even Google Live. So at least we can start to see what's going on, how the homes look in the area, as we mentioned a little while ago.
So, as you can see, there's numerous numbers of places that come up around Christopher Lane. And the reason why I want you to actually look into the surrounding houses in the area is so you can get an idea of what's the actual market value. There's a lot of information that you can find on a general Google search engine, or you can go to any home buying, home searching, real estate online app like Zillow, which will give you a roundabout how much is the price value of the home, as well as we continue down this video, you're going to see a slew of information that we can actually obtain about the property. So as we continue to use our Google search engine, it's very important to notice and also use the tools that we have. So you see how I can maneuver around the neighborhood? Some people don't take the time to actually use the live map. So it's good to use the live map because you get a good area view. You also have an idea if you will be, getting into areas that may have a lot of um, documented areas, meaning that those areas are not in a habitated area, can be, like as we talked about in other modules, landlocked, boxed in areas. So if you have other houses around in the area, it's a pretty good notation that there is active living around, commodities like electricity, water, and other things that you may need. So let's look more into 123 Linda Lane, and we're going to get some more detail about this property. And the only reason why we're going to focus in on this property because it's going to give us a little bit more information about the schooling in the area and other places like that. So as you can see, this property is about a three-bedroom apartment, close to 1,200 square feet, and we can get a little bit more information about how much the properties in the surrounding area sold for. Similar properties that have the same square footage, bedroom areas, as well as location. So this is why it's very important to look around to see what you may be possibly invested in. You can find out what type of dwelling it is, the year the house was made, the type of heating that is provided, such as gas or electric. You also will see the actual lot information, the acre of land. There's so much information that you can get just at the start of your search, especially before the auction. So I just want to give you a heads up. This is the type of search that you do before an auction. This is the type of research you do before you even decide what county you want to go into because you want to learn about the county. You want to learn about the home, about the price values in the homes, what type of commodities they offer, how good the school is doing. Things like that is very important. So we're going to continue to scroll down and get more information pertaining to this house. But you can also use other auction sites as well to help you obtain as much information as possible. It does state that this house goes for about $111,000. So that's not bad for a three-bedroom, which is a modest start, a modest investment as far as first-time home buyers. They on here you'll find a little bit about the tax history as well. It's so much information you can find. Past tax history, as well as how much the house was sold for from different buyers. So I stress to you to always continue to try to find as much information about the area, potential properties that you may invest in. As we continue to scroll down, now we're going to get into some more information about the surrounding neighborhood. And what's the price value, average price value for houses in the same area? And it's pretty good and mapped out right there for you, as well as expected expenses in the area, what type of, as they say, TV service they have, internet service. These are so many details that you can actually go in and figure out before you even purchase a tax lien. Nearby schools that's located in Camp Bellsville, how good the school's doing, their rating. You are looking to invest to move in yourself, or you just want to invest in an area that you know is a decent area and you'll be able to sell the property.
In this video, we're going to do a live research on.
All right, so we're going to move forward because it's going to go more into detail about the actual properties that we're interested on the tax lien list. This is part of the buyback team free course. So we're going to cut that part short. We already 10 minutes into that. And we're going to allow you to get into the course to finish, look at that one. But we're going to move forward into, because that's just getting to know the area. We want to get into our research. We want to use our time wisely today, okay? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Make sure I'm going to the right module next. Let me see if that's the 15-minute one. All right. Let's get this party started. This one is about a 50-minute section, but we're not going to watch the full 50-minute section, y'all. We're going to get you about a half an hour of it or about 20 minutes. And if you want to see the full section, then you'll have to join the free course, okay? Let me skip above because I'm not even going to fight with YouTube today. I always got to fight with them. So this is a rehash of what you went through. And let's get to the nitty gritty. Because now we're learning about Campbellsville. This is a continuation. The reason why I stopped that video, because basically that video is the intro to this. And this one has fully the information that you really, really need to start to put it all together. So we're going right back to 123 Linda's Lane, and we're going to keep this broadcast moving. I just wanted to move forward because I knew how it was.
Area that I want to look into, to Green River.
Okay.
Let's go to the city. So, Campbellsville, Kentucky is the area that I want to look into because that's what I'm interested in. So the first thing we'll do is let's Google Campbellsville, Kentucky. Let's find out a little bit about it. So I pre-did it. Campbellsville, Kentucky. You can always find information readily all over the place. There's many websites about Campbellsville, Kentucky, but let's just go to the basic. Let's go to the city. Campbellsville, Kentucky is a city in central Kentucky, founded in 1817 by Andrew Campbell. It is known as Campbellsville University. It is known for Campbellsville University, Tyler Regional Hospital, healthcare system, its historic downtown area, and proximal to Green River Lake State Park. So those are all the things that I want. I have a college, I have a nice hospital, it's proximal to a lake because I want to go canoeing, but I will go into more detail about the city. So let's see a little bit more. Let's say about. Let's just simple Google searches. You could use Wikipedia. I never used this website, or maybe this is the website for their area city data. But let's go to Wikipedia and see what Wikipedia got to say about them first. Because you can find.
Now, I do want to stop and say Wikipedia is good to do general resource searches like this, because this will probably be the most factual information because it's consistent. It's about a state. You're doing research on people, events, and stuff. That's not my recommendation, but I do Wikipedia because we know that it's going to stay consistent for the whole United States as far as what's going on and historical information.
Find some basic good information. You can find out the climate, demographics of the climate, characterized by hot, humid summers and generally mild to cool winters. So that's good. It's not going to be cold. What else it has? It's humid. The parks, it has a few parks there. Mainly, Miller Park is the main recreational park with softball field. Oh, it says the main, so maybe a small town. So you got to pay attention to those things. With swimming pool, playground, surrounding the Pittman Creek that flows through the park. Demographic area within the city limits. You have a census. This is a 2010 census, so that's a little old. But we're going to say it says about 10,000 people. That's not a lot. So it's a really small town. So that's good if you're looking, so you'll know. Economically, you'll know what it has to offer. Looking forward, Campbellsville University, the local university, Tyler Regional Hospital. You can go find out about that hospital. It's a small facility, 90-bed facility. Campbellsville University. You can find out a little bit more about that. So those are the key things you start to look at. Demographic area. So, it depends on what you want, to be surrounded. The racial makeup, you can look that up right here. It's 89% white, 8% African American, 0.14% Native American, and so on. So if you're interested in areas, the first thing I always recommend to do, Wikipedia may not be the most up to date, but you can get like a general idea, like, okay, and then we'll move on. We'll go from there. Let's see, there you can find out a little bit about its transportation, airports, the railroads here as well. We're not going to go too much in detail, but from there, I'm still interested. I like Campbellsville. That's where I want to go. So let's look for Campbellsville Tax Assessor's Office. Let's see if they have tax liens available there. Tax lien sales, let's do it. See what they got. So I'm going to tell you that it takes a little bit of, just paying attention to detail and, not just jumping at the first thing you see. Like, for instance, it says Campbellsville, Kentucky foreclosure list. So it's a list of foreclosures, but it's not tax liens. All right. So it says tax liens here. It says Campbellsville tax lien foreclosure.com. But I don't really think that is specifically tax lien. So one of the things, as we mentioned in the slide, is that we're looking for a few different entities. We're going to be looking for the tax assessor's office, as well as the county clerk office, as well as the county recorder. They're all in different locations. So since we came upon the Campbellsville, Kentucky Taylor County Clerk, let's open that in a new tab. And
I do want to add on is that we know that there's a lot of state by state tax lien investment courses and as well as information centers. So what you saw come up on a general first Google research are paid ads. What you want to focus on is government entities, and these are the government entities that we talk about: the clerk office, the assessor's office, the recorder's office. Okay, that's where you want to start to get the factual hardcore base information. Okay, I just want to share that with you.
And we'll get to know the county clerk and what they have to offer. So they do have a website up here. Welcome to Taylor County Clerk's Office. And this is when I stress to you guys to get to know the people who you may have to deal with. So for here, for instance, this office there with marriage license, notary public, copies of records. So we'll be getting records from them as well as delinquent tax information. So delinquent tax information, let's hit this hyperlink and see what we get. All right. So these are the two young ladies that's actually in charge of. She's one is the vehicle department, dealership department. I do apologize, and the delinquent tax collection. So these are the two individuals that host these department. Our office is responsible for collecting delinquent tax, property taxes with the assistance of the county attorney, who notifies the property owner of the delinquent taxes and the process for which it can be paid. Property tax bills of Taylor County becomes delinquent on April 15th of every year. Any tax bills that have not been paid to the Taylor County Sheriff Office would then be turned over to the clerk office for collections. So the next part, we're going to be looking for the clerk office. That's why you do a little reading, because every county kind of work a little bit different, for collections. The county attorney will notify the property owner. 2 letters will be sent along with the advertisement of the delinquent bill in Central Kentucky News Journal. So you got to take a note of the Central Kentucky News Journal. And that may be a newspaper that we want to look at in regards to the tax lien. So let's just always take little notes. So because when we talk to the county clerk, we want to sound as well-rounded and knowledgeable as possible. So it's not like we're digging or we're just unknowledgeable investors. You will get a little bit further if you have a little bit of foundational information. So we definitely know the Central Kentucky News Journal is where we may find a listing, so we can talk to the county clerk about that. If the bills are still delinquent after the 3 notice, the bills will be offered to the third-party companies who can purchase the bills and place a lien on the properties involved. The bills are never sold to third-party companies until August. So we know tax sales takes place after August. So let's take a note of that.
Now, if you guys review this information, now it stands out to you on why I said pay attention, because we know from April to August, we could get ready to start participating in their tax lien sale and when we can find the list. So start making your timetable as you start to research.
And they're late after April. We definitely know that. The late notices start. Okay. And then you can review the webpage for the complete list of delinquent tax bills and dates those bills will be offered for sale as the time comes closer. So let's find out where.
Now you see, when I was on that page, I didn't see a link for the actual list. It didn't give all the information I needed on that website because some of the counties do that. So I went back and refined my research by just adding list. And it will pop up and you'll know that it's related to tcclerk.com because you already know the actual website that you was dealing with. This is what happens when you get a little in the road when you're researching, because you see how it stopped right there. Who knew to go back to go refine your search? The buyback team. You just refine your search and you can find that list.
So as you see, once we kind of refine our search, and I just added list. You just a simple key detail words with descriptions, you'll be able to find what you need. Then we got another pop-up, delinquent property taxes, Kentucky Department of Revenue. So this may be the party who actually handles the tax sale. So let's take a note of them, who they are. And we already know who we need to be in contact with when we come to the county clerk office, because we know these two young ladies. So we may be asking to speak to Miss Tony or Miss Anita. And, we want to talk to them in a nice, professional way. We address them by their name as we did our research. So let's open the Delinquent Property Tax, Kentucky Department of Revenue. Here, this is where you'll find the information pertaining to the delinquent property taxes. You can read more on the website. Plan to purchase. Third-party purchases. The Department of Revenue is now accepting applications to register as a third-party purchaser for certificates of delinquent in Kentucky effective for the calendar year of 2019. So this is the perfect time for us to fill out an application. As mentioned in the presentation, some county makes you register before you come, and some counties just allow you just to go up to their county steps and get on the auction bid and start auctioning, sign up, and you do what you have to do then. So with this goes to say, all third parties purchasers who meet the following conditions must register with the Department of Revenue. 1, plan to purchase more than 3 certificates of delinquent in the following conditions. Plan to purchase more than 5 certificates of delinquent statewide, or plans to invest more than $10,000 in certificates of delinquents.
So as you can see, we have some criteria to tell us if we can participate or not, right in our initial research.
So if you plan to purchase more than 3, as per what this is saying, is that you have to register. Learn more about the third-party purchaser. Learn more. So before you go and call to talk to anyone, you want to learn as much as possible, okay? So here you go. The Department of Revenue is now accepting applications. So if you meet any one of these 3 criteria.
Now, on the right-hand side of this screen is literally laws and regulations. This is where you can start your law and regulation research in regards to what you need to do or be prepared for to participate, how the tax lien is put on the property, and what you need to do to foreclose in your rights as a tax lien investor. A lot of these, I call them companies, I do apologize, counties, have this information readily available for you on their website to start your research.
You'll be able to purchase certificates of delinquents from any tax year 60 days from the date of your application. So 60 days from the date of your application. So here you really have to be advanced. It says you will be able to begin purchasing certificates of delinquents from any tax year 60 days from the date your application is received. So if right now, if they don't have over-the-counter sales and they have a tax sale and you apply now, you have to wait 60 days. Hopefully you don't miss the tax sale. But if they have over the counter, which they said from any tax year, it seems like you can invest. So that is a good thing. The registration fee here is $250 for this county. This is the first that I saw. Not all counties charge you. I've registered for counties and I have never had to pay a fee. But if they're worth it, obviously this county must have a high property demand in regards to their tax lien if they have a fee and have this set up in this nature. So now we know a little bit more, and you'll go into detail about that. And then we'll figure out where do we find the list. So it says 2019 county clerk delinquent dates. We'll open that in the new tablet tab. So these are the counties and these are the tax sales that are coming up.
Now, as you see, sometimes you don't have to get a third party how can I say private person's website to find this information, because once you have to register with the state, just like in the state of Kentucky, you have to register with the state to participate in the counties. Okay, any county you want to. It's a little different, and we tell you how to enter these cells on a directory. So now you know that here in Kentucky, you're not going to just go to the tax assessor's office. You have to do a registry with the state first. Okay.
Today is September 17th, 2019. So the next one will be coming up on 9/25, but it depends on what county you want to go to as well. So we have to figure out what county we want to be in. And we were in Tyler County, right? So Tyler County, we actually just missed the tax sale, which was 8/21, and that was last month. But once you register with them, you'll be able to go to any tax lien across for the most part, across all the counties, the county clerk, all the counties. So this Kentucky Department of Revenue, which is the big Department of Revenue over the whole state, they are in charge of their tax liens when it comes to registering for their tax liens. But you may have to get in contact with the county clerk of that specific county when you're going through the process. But right now we're going to focus just on the research and just getting all the information and putting everything together.
All right. So we went in for about a half an hour. And what we want to do now is start to wrap up today's broadcast, because we want you guys to start to get in yourself and do the process and learn. It's about another 25 minutes on that part. And if you are advanced already from our conversations to say, hey, I'm investing from this way, I just want it for the residual, I want it for the property, I want it for the land, you can start to move forward with this next step, because you already looked into the state, you looked into the county that you want, now you looked into the properties in the area, you got the market value, and now you're looking at the list. And that's where we're going to leave you at today, at the list. You have the list. We showed you how to find the list. And as you see, some counties, when you go start to do your research, you may miss the county sale. This gives you time to get ready for the next one. Don't be defeated. You get ready to participate in the next one, getting your money, your mind, and doing your due diligence. Okay, so I want to say thank you for being with Lashley, being with the buyback team. We're here every Monday, but it's supposed to be 6 p.m. We was running a little late today. So we're going to give you a heads up if the time change, and we're going to give you more reasons on why to invest in tax liens and tax deeds. And we're also going to be showing you sneak peek of how to be successful in the process. So I want to say thank you for being with the buyback team. You have a great night, and please get into the program and y'all start to talk to each other, because you can exchange information. We have our own platform. You can download the app and you can get on and just conversate with people and say, hey, what you're doing, what process, what step are you on, what state are you interested in? And once people start to talk to each other, it's going to get the flow of it. Okay. And then I'll be in there throwing things in there, and you do pay attention to the blog. You'll be able to see the blog as well. So I have some blogs there that we're talking about title search, just to give you kind of a breakdown of what to expect and other hints and tips. We got so much for you. So thank you and have a great Monday. I will see you Friday.